Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm making my way to Madrid in Spain. I'll be staying at the Thompson Hotel and I'll be reviewing both the standard room and the penthouse. It's December, we're in London, so obviously it's raining, cloudy and cold. I'm flying from Heathrow and I've got a 7 AM flight to catch. Getting through Heathrow Terminal 5 is always a breeze. For this trip I didn't have quite a packed itinerary, so I did use a bit more of a bespoke travel agent, Prime Planet. I'll add a link in the description. It's a very short 2-hour flight and I'm in Madrid. The airport in Madrid is huge, the walk took forever. It was about a 30 to 40 minute walk through the airport. I did organise a transfer with the hotel to pick me up from the airport. The journey from the airport took about 30 to 35 minutes. There was a lot of traffic in the city centre, which didn't help. I did arrive at the hotel a little bit earlier than expected and my room wasn't ready. The host did offer me some refreshments, which was a nice touch. Pretty soon after, my room was ready and I headed straight up. The first room I was in was the King Bed City View. The hotel is fairly new, opened back in 2022, and is actually the first Thompson Hotel in Spain. Starting with the bathroom, it was very high-end and felt modern. I think the dark marble and the brass accents really helped the aesthetic of the bathroom. The room itself was quite cozy, not the biggest room I've stayed in, but it was really well finished and smelled amazing. There were some quite unique details about this hotel room as well. The minibar, for example, was in a freestanding cupboard which looked really aesthetic. Also came with a full-size whiskey decanter, which is something I haven't seen before. There is also some storage for clothing, but it's not a full wardrobe. Overall, I was really happy with the room. I decided to go for a walk to a local park. It's about a 7-minute cab ride or a 20-minute walk. The park that I went to was called El Retiro. It's one of the city's largest parks and it actually covers 350 acres. It has gardens, monuments, galleries, even an artificial lake. On my way back from the park, I passed a restaurant called Parque. I didn't have time to eat, but I did have a look inside and it looked pretty special. After the sun had gone down, the streets lit up with street lamps and outdoor heaters. Everywhere seemed pretty busy. Now I'm back to the hotel just in time for the penthouse reception. The hotel reception is very inviting and super festive this time of the year. So you can either rent this place as an event space or as a full 2-bedroom duplex penthouse. We started by hosting guests with canapes and drinks. We actually only had 15 guests, but I'd honestly say you could probably fit over 20-30 people in this place. At over 200 square meters, it's screaming after party to me. There was definitely a wow factor here. Now moving on to the second floor, which is where the bedrooms are and another living space. There's certainly enough space on the second floor to entertain guests as well. This is the master suite. Plenty of wardrobe storage here. Certainly no disappointment in any of the finishes on this floor. In the ensuite bathroom, there is a walk-in shower and a soaking tub. The ensuite bathroom felt decadent, filled with a green marble finish. I think the view from the penthouse balcony really does speak for itself. Later in the video, I will be sharing pricing on both the standard room and the penthouse. Now on to breakfast. So they do cook fresh bread daily, and the fresh pastries are far too nice. So breakfast starts with a welcome buffet, which is served at your table, used from pastries, fruits and some meats. And then you can go on to the a la carte menu, where you can order from a wide range of classics. I went for scrambled eggs, avocado and salmon. The next thing that I had booked was a guided tour in vintage cars. Just one word of warning, there are no fancy heated massage seats anywhere near these cars. So the cars take you to various landmarks around the city and explain a bit about the history of the city, and it was really quite interesting. So we went for the 1 hour tour, and this did have several stops along the way, so we did get to see plenty of landmarks. As I'm sure you can imagine, the cars do get a lot of looks. The drivers and the host were super friendly, and the main host was so knowledgeable about all the main attractions. And also the history behind all the famous landmarks. He had some time to take plenty of photos and videos. As I mentioned earlier, I did use a travel agent for this trip, but I did manage to find the website of the classic car tour company. Comment if you'd like me to show more. Next thing I did was actually a guided art tour by Daniel Esteban. He's a paper and sculpture artist. During the tour, we learned a bit about his background. He uses paper to create unique designs. We had a live demonstration of how Daniel worked in his studio, and it was fascinating. Overall, I'd say the experience was well worth doing if you're into art in any way, shape or form. Another experience I did was actually in the Thompson Hotel again. We ordered some drinks and canapes. This was a Spanish omelette masterclass, delivered by a senior chef in the restaurant. We had a mini history lesson on the origins of the Spanish omelette. That's a lot of olive oil. Along with some tips and tricks on how to make the best Spanish omelette. The chef was so passionate about cooking. Everything was explained and demonstrated with passion. And more importantly, the end product tasted amazing. I ate the omelette way too quickly and forgot to take any footage. My bad. Everyone really enjoyed the omelette session. I definitely recommend it if you're in town. Anyway, I'm going to leave you with a quick montage of some of the rooftops that I visited while in Madrid. Right, back to the activities. So next on my agenda was the Christmas light show. I had a look around the main streets of the city and they were incredibly busy. It definitely felt like there's a lot of anticipation for this day and the streets were bustling with people. This was the front of the Four Seasons Hotel, and as you can see, the crowds were enormous. Back at the Thompson Hotel, and there was a complimentary champagne reception. This was held on the terrace outside of the hotel. I think this was a great touch. The actual firework display wasn't the best view from the square that the hotel's on, so if you do want to see the fireworks, you should probably move to the more central streets. After the fireworks, I made my way to my dinner and flamenco booking. I did this at the very famous Corral de la Moreria. The restaurant entrance is very unassuming. The restaurant received its first Michelin star back in 2019 and has held it ever since. As soon as you enter, you are greeted with many famous people that have attended the restaurant. I'm sure you'll recognize a few. Once seated, we were given our set course menu, which for us was a 4-course meal. The starters were served before the event started. We were also told that cameras were only allowed for the first 5 minutes of the show, at which point all cameras and phones must be switched off. The presentation was great, but the flavours were even better. I can assure you the rest of the food was impeccable. I can definitely understand why they got their Michelin star. I have posted a very short clip of some of the show just so you can get a taste for what it was like. And now onto the all-important room pricing. So the king bed city view at £320 a night is the one that I stayed in. As I mentioned in the tour, I didn't think the room was huge, but the finish was definitely top tier. So at £320 a night, I think it was quite fair. You definitely pay a premium to be in central Madrid, and this is one of the few luxury hotels in the area. So up next was the King Suite City View. The suite is more than double the size of the standard room. Now, I didn't stay in this room personally, but I did have a look on the website and it looks pretty special. At £575 a night, it isn't cheap, but I guess if you do have some guests, it could work out pretty well. And then finally, the 2-bedroom Penthouse. It's a 2-bedroom suite and it's connected by a small elevator. Now at £4,900 per night, it isn't for everyone, but I genuinely think that you can really get some value out of this if you're using it as an event space. There is also an option to add additional rooms to this that connect, so I guess if you do have a really big group, you could make this work. So now we can take a look at the event pricing. The first and best value for money item is the Christmas lights. This is obviously a free activity, but having been there, I think it's fair to say the vibe is all on the ground. So your best bet is to find somewhere central, get there early, and stay for the fireworks. Next is the guided classic car tour. I did the 1 hour session, which is around £100. I don't think I need another hour. The 1 hour for me was great value. Now for my personal favorite, the Flamenco and dinner show. So altogether, this experience was around £85. That's for the Flamenco show and the dinner. On the day that I went, there were 3 shows on that evening and they were all the same price. We chose the 3-course meal to go with our show, but there were other options to have more expensive variants. I did actually really enjoy this show and I thought the food was great. Now, for the Spanish omelette making and the art tour, they were both arranged by a travel agent and I couldn't find anything on any website to give me individual pricing. If you do use Prime Planet for a trip like this, let them know I sent you. I'm sure they'll look after you. Now on to my final review. I actually gave this hotel an 8.6. Overall, I think the Thompson Hotel did a really good job of having a local feel. You can see this in everything from the food to the artwork. They really paid attention. The only thing I could really mark down slightly were the amenities. And that's only really because I've seen nicer amenities in other luxury hotels, but I think generally the amenities were fine. If you've been to this hotel, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Do keep a lookout for my next videos. And please comment, subscribe, like. It really helps the channel.